Leader of the third party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This government has weakened a policy that required new LNG export plants to meet net zero emissions by 2030. Last month, the Minister of Energy and Climate Solutions quietly wrote to the Environmental Assessment Office stating that LNG projects are not required to be net zero by 2030, but net zero ready by 2030. If LNG facilities can't connect to the electricity grid by 2030, they don't have to worry about the emissions required to liquefy methane for shipping by, you guessed it, burning methane in vast quantities. Massive provincial spending to expand BC's power supply should be for the benefit of all British Columbians, not the fracked methane LNG export industry. My question is for the Minister of Energy. It seems to be BC Hydro's responsibility to supply electricity to industrial export projects. Who will pay for these connections, and how will it impact taxpayers and electricity ratepayers?
Minister of Energy.
Well, thank you, Honourable Speaker. The letter is a clarification of current policy with respect to new LNG facilities. The LNG facilities must still achieve net zero emissions by 2030, but if grid electricity is not reasonably available by that date, proponents will not be penalized for factors beyond their control. That seems reasonable to me, Honourable Speaker. The policy on new LNG projects remains the same because such a policy is good for the economy, good for the climate, and the right approach to economic development in BC.
Member supplemental.
Mr. Speaker, this policy change represents a concerning shift in the BC government's policies that prioritize LNG development at the expense of BC's climate commitments. For a project like Silicim's LNG, liquefying using fossil gas instead of electricity means another 1.8 million tons of CO2 emissions per year, equivalent to more than 500,000 cars on the road. Now the facility's net zero ready plan could simply ignore those emissions. There's no deadline required for when LNG would actually need to reach net zero. In addition to other breaks, emissions pricing gives a 2-year startup exemption for emissions when gas flaring is at its maximum. My question for the Minister, how much more relaxation of climate policies for the LNG export industry should British Columbians expect and prepare for?
Minister.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. LNG facilities must provide a credible net zero plan and reduce all non-electricity emissions. It's that straightforward. The policy was that before the letter. The policy is that now. The clarification only applies if a facility cannot reasonably get grid electricity by 2030, and then the policy does apply. But we are, as the member knows, across BC, engaging in one of the most ambitious clean energy, renewable energy programs in the history of Canada, and we are going to continue to pursue those goals. That's good for our overall economy. The price of renewable electricity is going down, and we think investing now, contrary to what other jurisdictions may be doing, especially those south of the border, is the right thing for our economy and the right thing for BC.